lecture. You are in a classroom. It is one of the classroom television. Don't get confused that when we discuss about students and politics, I will not talk about who is political party, support who is political education, who will be contesting education, who out of them who will be leader. Keeping that in mind, what is the agenda? We will not talk about it. We will talk something else. Relevance and probability of relevance and probability. Some names in Orissa, Laxmidhar and those who have created history, those who have developed history, those who have written the fate of history, what we see today. Chief ministers, ministers, MLAs, top bureaucrats of the country, your students of the university. Wherever they were reached, not because they were contesting elections, not because they are in campus politics, driven by ideology of the country. The environment was such, the atmosphere was such, it was created. Persons should be thinking of thinking at that time. Somebody mentioned about that 64 students were. 64 students was an eye-opener for all other national universities in the country. Then he mentioned about the unfurling national flag here in the place of Hindu land, and leaders getting arrested. Why there were so much jails that time? So why did they take the leaders? So they declared one of the hostels here, at jail, and put all the leaders. Remember, they were in jail, symbolically pensive. But this symbol, this action of theirs, led universities like Bangladesh University, Hyderabad University, and some oldest universities in the country, everywhere students took the same action. They took out all the Indian jacks and Anfang. We will that. We will discuss things at that sphere. See, student politics. Again, I say, don't confuse between student politics. When I say student politics, I say activism. I will refer activism. I substitute the word activism with the student politics. Student politics just will be just a part of it. An active thinking person, conscientious person, a reasonable person who gets developed a sense of what's right, what's fair, what's unfair. That development of a person in a campus definitely make man an active person. I am talking about that activism. When man, who are the students to contribute for the development of the university, for development of education, and we also the instrument of social engineering. Let's talk about that kind of student and that kind of activism in campus. All this happened in late 17th centuries in Oxford University. Oxford University is simultaneously part of Harvard University. See, that time there was no communication, there was no internet like this. But still, in Oxford University, the activism that started, initially it started against the racism. Then it started, the movement started, like students, those who used to go from the colonies, which ultimately became the Commonwealth places. In India, for example, Britishers are suppressing political movement against the Britishers. All the students who have gone from India were studying in Oxford. Oxford was the place where they could debate and discuss against British imperialism in India. I repeat, Indian students, those who could not get scope here, to discuss and debate against the issue in India, got chance in Oxford University to debate and discuss against British influence in India and exploitation of India. When I think of activity, when I think of whether students should be part of activities, I can think of that kind of activity, that kind of atmosphere, that kind of environment which creates a feeling, which creates a holistic person who can think about society, who can think about politics, who can participate in politics, who can contribute for a functional democracy. This kind of a movement, late 17th century, started in Oxford, Cambridge, and you know the names. I think we have a list of about 50 Indian leaders. Those who learned what is politics, those who learned what is campus politics, those who learned what is leadership, those who came back to India and led this country, whether Mahatma Gandhi, whether this is Ambedkar, whether this is Subhash Bose, all of them, up to Indira Gandhi, then Sandal Kursi, any top leader in the country, you see, the chief ministers in Orissa, ministers in Orissa, say that we get political leaders of India, those who are learned what is politics in university campuses of Cambridge, Oxford, and some of them. Please think about that. Before coming to that, what is the crisis today in our campuses? What should compel all of you to think beyond campus politics and ultimately that will be your campus politics? Please think of beyond the campus politics. Please think of the situation the country is facing today in education policy. Ultimately, that will bring you to be active in your campus for your future, for your well-being, and for your participation in the function of the community. See, when I see all of you, I'm students of research. I see that future also. And I also see that I will say that today 68% of our population are unemployed. There can be 7% for our population. Bombay University, Bombay IIT Bombay, right? Very often I give this example. Only 36% students are gone in campus recruitment from IIT. Of the total unemployed students in India today, 68% are unemployable. What I said? Unemployable. All of them have degrees, very good degrees, gold medals, from Hyderabad University, from JNU, from University, from all the IITs, all the universities. But 68% of these degree holders today are unemployable. Means they have 1 degrees, brilliant marks. They lack skill, they lack dwelling, they lack the capacity of creating things. Most importantly, they lack creativity. Please know this, all of you tomorrow, those who are independent of your own program today in a campus, they are not faculty, they are not proper teaching, but you are independent. When your friends come and sit in this time, or let them show protest, live protest, they do this on the chancellor. Now you need teachers, you need a better teaching facility. You just cover your face, no politics. Today, 68% of the unemployed people, they are unemployable, all have degrees. Please note, all have degrees and very good degrees, but best university. They are all employable because they lack skill, they lack training, they lack knowledge of the subject, and on the top of it, they lack critical thinking. One campus politics or an environment of thinking in campus brings you and lets and develops hard skill. When I talk about campus politics, I think of campus activity in campus. I want that. BHU, Hyderabad University, Bombay University, even outside Orissa College, JNU University, they want to be now, be consciously people wanted to brand it at the Adda of Artificial still 19. January 2019. Be the day. This environment, whatever this environment we have, the students have fared much better than what we used to do. So when you think of campus activities or politics in campus, don't think that you need to necessarily this has to be. Elections in campus, so I do a leader who's grooming himself or being groomed by his party as a leader. Think beyond. Think this crisis that where our universities has reached today. I speak of a boy from a rural village, going to a college, while studying in the village. He has been able to mind very well exposed to everything become Marxism and socialism. Then came an emergency. So how he protested? He got some of his friends. There's a Siddha in that particular town. During emergency, when this depression was going on, he'll take some of his friends. One friend's father had a printing press. They'll bring one guy's reference at every emergency. Go to the Siddha, buy tickets in the last category. Take the tablets in pocket. Then we go and distribute the tablets. And all the hospitals that are going on to distribute tablets to everybody in the country. So when the lights is on, everyone see that the tablets are emergency. Police came to picked up the other person and he was also picked up his ball. But taking the ball in the police station was very natural. Last week. What are you doing? I'm sorry. Why am I sorry? Which of them? Sorry, 9. One good example. You match it to 7-6. Out of sympathy, the talking of the road. To others that they don't hear. Then sense will pass on that one. Yes, that time elections are bad. Some of them like to go, they don't like to know yet. When you know this elections are bad, they can't have the politics. But the principle in that college, they thought there has to be representation of students in the affairs of the college. Then he nominated students as one of the leaders. His boy was picked up at the emergency activities. He was picked up as nominated by the president. He was criticized at that. Then this guy goes to another college, to good college, because they were taking the major issue is Puri college. But if Puri boys will never allow last year to go back to Canada. When I was sitting here, we also thought get a half circle to go to that side. And the huge total hospitals. Because of the background of this boy and his experience in the activity, he completed the election. Because he's from a rural place and a hosteler. If you look at the history, we have this, and the hosteler kind of election that took us close to the election. You must be thinking as well. What a contested election over election. This point was the university. And in Puri college, we added 2 hostels to the college, the girls hostel and another hostel in the college. When he was an answer, he goes to the university. He studies in the university. After elections, there also. He becomes a member of the University Central Council. The University Central Council is with councils in like our academic council and Central Council. He becomes a member of the University principals of methodologies, all HODs, and presidents and secretaries of all 46 colleges are there. But last, and obviously India, we become a member of the university. Teachers, students, and employees of this are committed to powerful organization. Makes major contribution to not only one but to others. He has been arrested twice, what to be happening, all students and issues of organizations. At the different stages of life of student gathering, he has contributed to society. And at different stages of his career, he has developed institutions. One campus activity, campus politics, through teachers is this. You might be knowing United Nations. United Nations has a concerted program for youth leadership. For us, we don't know all of you. Youth leadership development, preparing leaders for next generation, is a concerted program by United Nations, which is going on for the last 50 years. This mock parliament system, preparing students to participate in the democracy and social engineering, comes from the God that has given the United Nations. In India also, we had 10 years before, ICDS, you must have heard about ICDS, city. Student policy in India. CSDS, you must have heard about this name, is a famous research center in India. Student policy in India, issues and challenges. So they had a conference in 2017, and I have covered the participants in that conference. It was very We had invited President, Secretary of different colleges and leadership of different student organizations. Problem. General Secretary of ABDP, General Secretary of University Student, NSY Student, DSO, ASU, NSY, Samadhan Chhatra Sabha, ABDP, SFI, AISF, all the student organizations could be delivered in a national space. I would say after the deliberation, the students are divided into groups. Study was to know their perception of campus politics, or their perception of development of students and future leaders of the country. What will be their future role in the function of democracy in that country? Some of them are one of the persons who are summing up the deliberations. And these are the important issue points that evolve in that discussion. We'll come to politics. What you guys are interested, why America are notifying of elections in colleges and we have candidates for leadership, we'll come to that. But please note this is important and this is what I feel more important for all of us. The important point of demands for the dialogue. It was one of the dialogue. Prevalence of discrimination in university space in general rewards students belonging to sort of less privileged background. Students belonging to less privileged background facing discrimination. Gender bias in universities. The rapid privatization of the university and colleges and faculty and programs in the name of employment, rapid commercialization of education, influence of a political party in negative, not that political parties cannot influence things in the positive. They can. There are political parties. They will never make that students experience. Because there are some student organizations in Turkey. If you look at the main fight, they don't believe in violence. Most of the leaders of fight are thinking boys and girls and are in study, extensive study. So this influence of a political parties is one of the factors, but not the factor. What the speakers said about this, I was thinking, don't look at this in such a narrow sector. Don't look at this. Look at the overall holistic development of students in economics. And why it is important that each student should be an activist or by default becomes an activist. Have you seen a JNU student who chooses the path of knowledge for education? That's good. Have you seen a student of JNU who's a lawyer? But you ran the JNU with an adapt dynasty. India's top bureaucrats, India's top civil servants, most of the diplomats, leaders, and products of trade. And the sense of the environment they create, because of the environment that has been created, environment for free thinking, environment for debates and discussions, environment to push change, environment to push change to the power, environment to push change. Set up values which both into the society and talk of critical thinking. Critical thinking. I am a witness to genuine politics. I want to show something very interesting. I will charge the elections to genuine politics. Substance of 5-6 years are spent in it. The election in genuine is managed by students, not by university. Student council who should be 100% responsible, not the same professor, not the same ADC, the administrator or the minister, nobody will be involved. At the same moment also be having some kind of university. What that teaches is the students. That teaches the students self-determination. That teaches the students critical. That teaches the students leadership. This leadership doesn't necessarily has to be political leadership. Leadership is life. Leadership is community life. Leadership is social. In particular, I'll give you one example. I have lost the election. I lost a case in the Supreme Court. Arab High Court declared not invalid. So, then let's find out stuff. President JNU citizen went to the students to our house to Pangari and with a representation. What is representation for? One, for anti-democratic activity, for committing illegality. He lost the election, he lost the case in the High Court. Nobody ever answered it. You cannot complete that censor for JNU. They have gone with the definition. Irregularity is nothing. How powerful she was that time. She called the students, she asked and asked their president, can you read it out to me? Can you read it out to her? Last time, Mom, please resign. Because you are no more learning. I am not talking that she resigned. For certain things, she resigned. Which is this kind of sense of environment being together, pursuing a college, pursuing the students. In today in JNU, that economic quota, which takes students from Sambapur, Marbada, Pangari, Orissa, to JNU, or SC students from Bihar. If the continuous student because of the height of the students, because of the height of the students, they don't want, they want the opposite. routine discussions always wanted to avoid this. Because they don't want these people to do anything. Now, a stifling environment is created in every campus. To stop what? To stop thinking. To stop critical thinking. More these guys are developed as thinkers, feel empowered by the debates, by their discussions. To ask questions to the power. This is their comes to the power. It has been in history. It's a historical truth. Hitler had accepted this. So he was giving the evidence. If you study in 14 fascist regime of the world, everybody had this attitude towards everybody. India being a country of rules. How much percent of India's population are between 90 to 30%? More than 55%. More than 55% of India's population between 90 to 30%. So it's a country of rules. So today's youth will decide tomorrow's India, its future. India being a country of diversity and massive diversity of language, social habits, education, everything. Only and meaningful education system can develop this country. And participation of students, in fact, by me, is a must in this country has to survive. I go to part-time students, brilliant students, degree holders, glad today. Is critical thinking. If college levels are, if we have a debate or discussion, that whether students be part of politics or is dispensable, indispensable, then this country is never going to have any future. In 11th we will discuss this. Because this place has a different identity. These place have created thousands of leaders of this country. This has created political leaders, leadership, bureaucracy, leadership, industry, thinking, historians, politicians, in every one of life, this has come. Why this question has come to you? This stifling environment, something very discerning and discomforting. Now we see all the cities in the country that space for critical thinking, that space for students to grow with intellectual thinking and will ask questions to power. That's the environment we are lacking. So because this is pushing the present educational policy. If you have applied on mindful present educational policy, all of you are victim of one you are not applied to mind. There's a high scope for you to have to do. There is scope for you to think beyond your syllabus. Beyond your syllabus. Your university authority or any university authority, they are concerned how to complete the course of these things. They are not concerned about your holistic growth, your overall. What are debating society doing? What are debating societies doing? What are traveling societies doing? What are the sports activities doing in the So, in each and every respect, in terms of politics and politics, all university space for growth for students is simply and abnormally simply alarmingly simply. When we talk about student politics in campuses, you see, when students think about their future, when students think about programming, and develop their development in the campus, that will automatically create literacy. Please remember this. That will automatically create literacy. And we are concerned with that literacy. Have you heard of Oxford Debating Society? You must have seen the YouTube videos. They are inviting sometimes Rahul Gandhi, sometimes social gurus, sometimes opposition leaders, substitute family. That they do with the particular leaders of different politics. Which way Oxford is concerned about Indian politics, why they invite the opposition leader of India or some particular thinker or some journalist of India? Why? They think this interaction, this debate will benefit their students. It will change their world outlook. It will change their view for the world, developing world. And this Oxford Debating Society or Debating Society, however it has been going for hundreds of years. They have got this benefit. The issue is now we are closing this space. And despite that space, we are creating problem in such a way for students. In one hand, last year, in the other hand, we find out of 68, out of total unemployment, we see more than 60% are unemployable because they lack skill, knowledge, technique over their own subject and so what are we giving to our students? What are we giving our students for the future? Only healthy environment, a healthy atmosphere, where student can think, one student can debate, can discuss, and can have critical thinking on everything that exists out there. Good creative holistic persons empower them with the knowledge and information. Think of how fascinating it is. The knowledge and information you guys have given for how to find space. To use that knowledge. To use that knowledge for your benefit, for your development, for your future, and your contribution for a functional democracy, private democracy country that no scope for you because of conscious interference by political parties, by governments, by not allowing that space to you in your own interest. That is function. Coming to some of you must have come across report, community, was not about the internals and active very from election function. A reference was given to me by Supreme Court regarding campus politics. What should students do elections? How should we conduct them? Campaign, how campaign is conducted, all that. That report has been implemented. That report has been implemented. It's discussed and debated. Serious debate, we also have discussed on that. After that report is debated in university authorities, cannot have any function that there will be violence, there will be unhealthy environment, there will be adversity among students or political parties interfere. And even if you are afraid any of it, political parties are influencing students. I said that influencing students not that teaching them for a particular reason, that teaching them to be independent, that teaching them to debate and discuss. Maybe through campaign, through ideology. Generation campaign is not from anything. It's whether you are pro-Palestine or post-against Palestine. Whether you are against Israel or in terms of Russia, or against Russia in terms of Israel. These are the debates in JD. These are the debates in JD, which insights JD politics. Please know it. If you happen to get a chance for the election in JD, please go and see the debates. The debates is not what will happen in that campus. There are day-to-day discussions, day-to-day movements to take council, to take care of their requirements. There are hostel requirements, there are stipend requirements, if there are dislocation of the scholarships, the students' councils, and there are different schools, Center for Political Studies, if there are studies, they take care of that. They don't discuss any other thing. These are the ways, whether they are proposed, whether Israel is committing genocide now. That will be discussed, that will debate on the basis of things of the wars in Israel. If one say, if you get a chance in October, one say, there is one of the debates that's going on. You must have heard of the city, in YouTube and the news channels. In different colleges of our university. In that proper official band, pro-Palestine movement in India. Different students, you must have seen different students are taking degrees from Harvard University, Boston University, California University, but taking the degrees, they have got the flags of Palestine and they have given the slogan, at the podium, free, free Palestine, that they really have been withheld and come up with another Palestine. Tell me, which of this campus? Do you call it campus politics of Harvard? We can provide our comment of this election in Palestine. Those who are saying these activities are bad, these are political activities by pushing them. We these students who are demand on a degree and taking their degree, they spoke for Palestine against genocide in Palestine. But we then have some of them arrested. We don't want to contest election in Palestine. And which way, I mean, these students, you can call them that against campus politics. That is not a brand of campus politics. It's the political decision of Donald Trump. Compelling universities where these protests are gone, that will be reduced the funding to the university college which call these activities are organized. So, we are not making that because some people brand it. In India, for example, any political party, leader, any politician, tells you today. That no, there should not be political campus. Students should not do politics. Ask me a question. What is your education? Which university you study? Did you purpose election in your campus or not? Thousands of leaders, those are arrested during the emergency. Being against emergency, all legal political politics, Janata Party swept into power throughout the most of the state and students, Mandal Commission, it's entire country, it's students who related to Mandal Commission, same in emergency, anti-emergency, students who related to our freedom movement, students of India. Some of them being in foreign soil in 1930s. In 1930s, in Oxford campus, Cambridge, Indian leaders, Indian students, those leaders in India, some chief ministers, leaders, they used to write against Britishers. Suppose some Indian is selling to India, those leaflets, those literatures, still they put it back, they bring it to India, and then distribute it. But the printed in Oxford campus. So students and politics, new politics are inseparable. Politics today decides your life. This education policy is backed by some politics, some policy, some thinking, some agenda of the moving institution. You accept this policy, you are against it, you are against that thing. You cannot escape. Man is 80%, cannot. Somebody asked me why you are not approached. Man said, very simple. What did I think? I don't believe in this. I believe I think. So whether you accept it or not, this is a necessity. People is bad. This is a necessity. You cannot escape. You cannot. Someone's wrong decision is making you pay tax. Someone's wrong decision is making you pay tax. You may be poor family, you are contributing to GST. The private investor is who buys a matchbox pays GST. By courts pays GST. By chemistry pays GST. Not that only rich people pay this. Not only rich people pay income tax. Rich people pay income tax. That tax component they pass on to their consumers or it comes to the common man. So how in a democracy, participatory democracy, who is supposed to be government of the people, by the people, and voters are 18 years now, 18 years means all are students. Now each of you is a student, is a voter. Every 18 years ago he is a voter now. Every 18 years ago he is a voter now. So he can't question the policy of the government. Is that politics? Allow that student, wherever he is, whatever capacity is, to decide who to vote. Allow him to debate on the policies of the government. Those policies decide his future, decide his life. Those policies that the government decide his not to his life of his family members, pictures of his. Don't discard, don't deprive them of this thinking. We should allow him to grow as a thinking person, empowered person, that will give him a job, not a degree. Not a degree. Remember all of you. Your government is not going to give a degree because 68% of Indians those are unemployed. They all have different degrees. IIT Kharagpur, all MBA universities, management universities, students, all are brilliant students. After CAT they go for management. After all the exams they go for IITs. If they are unemployed today, don't think they don't have a degree. They didn't have 90%, 95% in plus 2 and in engineering 9.5 GPA, 9.7 GPA. They are having the degrees that are unemployed. Because they lack difficulty, they lack mastery of the subject, they lack technical skill of the subject. Your participation in campus, in activities, let it be social debating, let it be elections. These elections are very actually. Why United Nations is preparing youths of the world to participate in the national elections. Why? It is the future. This concept of mock parliament is going to be given by the United Nations. And there are monitoring, there are going to be different countries that choosing students from different countries of the world and having every year in one particular country, thousands of students who go and participate in debates and discussions and make a parliament, mock UNO assembly, to discuss about your environment and global warming, racism, terrorism, all subjects concerning the international community. Why are you doing? So which way you can escape? Which way you can escape the effort of this? I cannot escape. I cannot escape from campus culture. I should not escape. So my spontaneous natural involvement in campus activities, let it be debate, discussion, student activities. You are preventing, tightening my hands, preventing it. As a result, you are reducing to less than humanity. You want me to appreciate piece of blessing. Just take money and give a degree. And that degree will take you nowhere. Unless I'm empowered in terms of knowledge, in terms of thinking, in terms of handling issues and crises. I'm a great supporter of student politics for this reason. That whatever I am today, because of my exposure to study Marxism and campus politics. The boy I was referring to is gay. I studied in our college. I thought on the comment that I want to study in English medium. I was only student to study in English medium. That was my studying medium. I forced the teachers in class to teach in English medium to me for some time. Then she should go to them. I went to the college. When I found them no hostel, I thought I didn't think I was physically accepted like the students. Critical people that they come in the hospital to come and protect the children. I thought I was. But I got this election in the university. I was asked both by ABP and Congress, both. I was asked by both. I won the elections. I I went to Delhi University Central Council, building Deputy Council, student leader. I have built a Delhi University seminar library. Our law center seminar library I have built because if a student of a Delhi University has something graduation that he can have access to the center library. But the seminar library is like a club, exclusive club of infants and students and professors. I made that library open for everybody, lots of scholars. And once the band Odia students at our time, because they didn't have 10 plus 2 plus 3. In our time we have 11 plus 2 plus 2. So we went to Delhi University. Suddenly, when we are studying in University, Orissa introduced, in all India they introduced 10 plus 2 plus 3. So all those who have not completed 10 plus 2 plus 3 to transition 2 years, they went to admission Delhi University. I allowed the Vice Chancellor's office academic council meeting for 36 hours, along 500 students, and it was employing and teachers, because I am a member of the teachers, employing and students to be supported. I mobilized all of them. Then all Orias got admission. Before that, they used to start a bridge course. Since you have now lost it, take 15 years. You have to do 1 year bridge course because you have done graduation in 2 years. Many more students have done graduation in 3 years. So you have to be back. You have to do 1 year bridge course, then you get admission. Ultimately, I could be 200 from here. Yes, you have 10 plus 2 plus 3 or 11 plus 2 plus 2. It's same 15 years. In 15 years, you have to graduation. 15 years, you have to graduation. I get out the Vice Chancellor and academic council meeting for 26 hours. I understand. See, these are the things campus politics teaches us. See the majority of the population independently in this world. We cannot decide for themselves. We are reaction. Think from this angle. See, number of population of independent who can speak for them, who cannot assert their rights. We are reaction. We come to the campus by their hierarchy. What is taught me that we have gone to study. People are forgetting that this is part of that study. For a holistic growth, to empower yourself in terms of knowledge, in terms of critical thinking, in terms of having capacity to debate and discuss. Obviously, you have seen bright students. I have seen bright students of the university. Those are active in debating in the college. They have scored very well in the UPSC exams. They are the students. Now that they have gone astray. Those who give you so that you study, don't go for politics. You tell them. How many students you have seen now without employment? Many now something 2 years. Now to take up employment, go for a that's a different matter. 10 years before, 5 years before, you see, now we have made in such a way, we have taken things in such a way that our crores and crores students are unemployed and we don't have scope for employment. But previously, anybody was getting a degree from the results of the anybody was coming out from jail was getting a job, whether it's teaching, whether it's civil service, whether it's public service, whether it's research. So, who will be concerned? Who will be concerned? Those who are telling you this, they want their rules to go unofficially. They want to impose whatever rule they want, whatever agenda they have. Without any protest, without any discussion, without any question, most important without any question. And there are unfortunately the Vice Chancellor, all Vice Chancellors, all Chancellors, that model, that mode, that imports also rules in university campuses. That your students become absolutely God hands, not human. We are in such a state. So this is a call to all students in the country. Which way you are going to build and carry forward your experience. This is all to bring all of it. We must have seen what happened in January 2019 in JU, Jamia, and different universities. Consciously make the university of that. Why? These universities produce critical thinkers, students who can think, intellectuals who can ask questions to power. So cripple them. Don't have a requirement of debate and business of the people so that they are crippled. What is the slogan? You have come to study law of politics. Is your answer? It's not politics. It's part of my curriculum, part of my future agenda, and part of my future programming that I know and solve it and I told myself what I am. You can never get an answer that will make it true. Student politics is an integral part of learning of a student to grow as an individual, solving individual, to make his contribution for a functional democracy and the development